Okay, so recently I came across a pretty insightful post on Reddit about ESO PvP that I thought I would like to just share with everybody, and also perhaps give some of my thoughts and ideas pertaining to what has been written. So the link to the original article will be in the caption and the comment section below, so you can check out the original article in your own free time. I'm just gonna quickly go into some of the points that this person has written. His first point is basically centering around the idea that Battlegrounds is a easier place for a new PvP player to begin to learn his trade as compared to Cyrodiil. And this is quite true to a very large extent, because in Cyrodiil there are some other mechanics like siege and defense involved, whereas for Battlegrounds the action is more fast and furious. I would think that Cyrodiil I spend a lot of time on the horse traveling. I could be like moving across the terrain for 5 minutes only to be involved in a battle that finished in about 30 seconds, and to be honest, I find that kind of annoying, which is why I stay in Imperial City most of the time, because I don't want to spend so much time traveling. I want to spend more time fighting people and getting experience as soon as possible, as regular as possible. So in that aspect, Battlegrounds is pretty good, although there are no champion points in Battlegrounds, so I would still stay in Imperial City. I like the champion points option to further buff my characters, right? But anyway, on to the second point. Health. Yes, I think this is a very strange but very accurate point, that once you are above 30k health, you would notice your survivability increasing more significantly than, let's say, if it were like 26k and 27k. And even though it's only a 3 to 4k difference in health, the difference is actually very big in a long sustained battle, particularly if you're going up against those sweaty Dragon Knights and the Wardens, right? So I definitely recommend that you go for somewhere between 30 to 40k health. I mean, if you die fast, it doesn't matter how much spell pen you have, how much spell damage you can do if you cannot sustain in a battle. So look into your Mundas, look into your traits of your armor, and some of the champion points to just bump that health up, right? The third point on crowd control, I'm a sorcerer, so essentially my main go-to CC spell is Streak, and it's irreplaceable. Of course, for the original writer, what he used is a Polar Wind and Arctic Blast, because it's a Warden build, and playing against a Warden using these skills can really be quite a pain in the ass. So yeah, but I think anybody, even if you are doing PvE, you would probably have all these CC spells in your front bar or in your back bar anyway, so yeah, I don't think this is a no-brainer, right? The next one is about healing. Yeah, this is another thing that also actually applies to PvE play as well. Have a burst heal and have a heal over time, which is why Resolving Vigor and armor set like Mara's work so well together. Or if you're Dragon Knight, there are like tons of passives that give you passive heal over time, and you just don't die, you know. Your resource can be super low, you activate your burst heal, and then you let your passive heal do the work while you are spamming your attack on your opponent, right? So tons of resources on YouTube for you to research on how to get a burst heal and a heal over time. Yeah, it's important. So managing your resources is the difference between life and death. Yes, again, it is a very straightforward point, but you'll be surprised how much this has actually been neglected. For me personally, I converted from a mage sock to a stem sock, and I start to change all my attributes and my traits to bump up my stamina instead of my magicka. And so I have two spammables. I use a silver shards for stamina, and I use a crystal frag for magicka. So there are lots of people who commented that I hardcast crystal frags. I do that when my stamina is below a certain threshold, and I need my stamina to just bump up again. So I have to exhaust my magicka, which is always in huge supply, because other than Streak, I don't actually use much other skills that drain magicka, unlike before. So I think at the end of the day, you always got to keep your bar out on your stamina. Keep your eye out on your stamina bar, because when your stamina is low, there are tons of situations which will be unfavorable to you, right? Break free, roll dodge, you won't be able to sprint away. So yeah, resource management is really pretty important. Never forget that resolving figure, which I use a great deal, also exhausts stamina. So you gotta keep an eye out on that green bar. That's key to longevity in a combat. So burst combos are key for killing other players. Yeah, you gotta, probably after a while you figure out which is the combo that would best kill the enemy in a short span of time, right? For me, it would be cast a curse, do a streak to stun the mofo, land the ultimate, hopefully with full 500 points, so that activates my bell lock, and hopefully then a crystal frag procs then, and I start to spam. You can have the best plan and the best combo in the world, but sometimes a fucking lag would just throw a spanner in the works, you know. So, you know, shit happens. It is what it is. So, yeah. But have a good burst combo. And if your burst combo fails even without lag to bring the opponent down, right, then fucking hell, just run, okay? You're not going to win the fight. Just run, right? Okay. So knowing when to pick fights, knowing when to pick fights and when to disengage is incredibly important. That's true lah. I mean, after a while, this comes with experience, where you know that some battles can't be won, and you know, your teammates are getting picked one by one. No shame, run, come back, fight another day where the odds are more in your favor. Yeah, or just die. I mean, okay, it's alright to die. You know, I die all the time. I think I would rather have a quick death, respawn, than spend 5 minutes kiting around some terrain and my fingers go numb in the process. I don't see the joy in that. Yeah? Some people do, they do them, not for me. Right. Using terrain and structure for defense, well, yeah, that refers to kiting, and I think with some experience, again, when you watch what other players do, you can then start to emulate and copy what they do and learn from other people. So consumables that increase all 3 resources are important. Yeah, this is what I use Bewitched Sugar Skulls, and I use Tri-Step Potions. Basically, anything that I feel is value for money that can pump up all 3 resources at one go, I prefer that. For my build, I prioritize on the spell damage, obviously, so I'm a little low on the 3 resources to start off with, right? My health is 30k, which I feel is the bare minimum, so I would need the potions, and I would need the food to help me buff up this area of my build. Right? Fully immerse yourself in siege battle. Yeah, I mean, this is a personal thing. I don't like Cyrodiil. I am not interested in siege. I just want to fight battles. So, yeah, I mean, you play whichever part of the game that you like, that suits and favors you, right? So, Imperial City for me. Right, so I think this is a very concise, very articulate article. I would encourage everybody to just read, check out, and there's some really good comments as well in this Reddit thread. So yeah, do feel free if you have time to give it a go. Okay, thank you for listening. Thank you for your time. I see you in the next video.